Right, you need to see this, guys. So, Danielle's not been having the best sleep. She's had some new street lights fitted outside the house, so I thought I would come and bring my radiation detector to see what's going on here. So this is in Danielle's bedroom. It's a bit of a mess, so I'm going to embarrass her bedroom. She's just making a bed. But you look, the phone is on aeroplane mode, so there's nothing coming off the phone. Look, the levels there, it says medium levels, low levels, okay? So this is a safe level. No matter where I point it around in her bedroom, watch this when I turn up to outside to these street lights. Look at this. Look at this. This is the street lights there that I'm pointing at. And look at these levels now. That is a constant high. That is dangerous. That is not good for our health. What are the side effects of this? Cold-like symptoms. Feeling like you've got a cold. Feeling run down, fatigued, headaches, nausea. That is constant. And these like street lights have been put everywhere now. I've got them outside my cottage. Outside my cottage, when I put my detector next to them, it says that they are cell towers. These are different ones, these. They're not saying a cell tower, but that is a constant level pumping out all night, 24 hours a day. The streets are full of these now. So we are being bathed in this non-stop. Guys, this is not good. This is not good for our health.
LED lights. We're seeing purple lights pop up all over the country in America right now. What's fascinating about these purple lights that they're calling a defect, and it's not a conspiracy or aliens or the government doing this, the news station is actually saying this.
Some thought it was some sort of discreet sign for law enforcement, the government, or aliens. No conspiracy theory behind the light.
No conspiracy, exactly. No conspiracy.
The word conspiracy theory was coined by the CIA to make anybody who talks about the JFK assassination and an alternative outlook on it look like a nutcase that needs tinfoil on their head. But these purple lights showing up all over the place. The interesting thing about purple lights in blue, violet, is that it can hold the most data for mind control. There's scientific experiments with LED lights, as we see the LED lights being rolled out all over the world, not only for the Internet of Things, but these LED lights, there's scientific experiments proving that they can place false memories into people's brains and also control nanoparticles in the behavior of mammals and bacteria. They switched from this incandescent light bulb, which is nice on our eyes because it somewhat mimics the sun. Harvard researchers are saying there's a dark side to this blue light. This is why they make blue light glasses. But the reason it can store so much data for this mind control with purple and blue and violet that we see these lights popping up everywhere, this is why we have Blu-ray discs and Bluetooth, because blue can hold the data. So I'm going to show you how these lights can be used to put thoughts into your brain, sending information through the lights and manipulating our behavior. We used to be mind controlled in a more positive light through the campfire. We would stare at the campfire and we would tell stories, and this would go into our subconscious mind. But we would stare at the light, and this switched to us being in front of a television with the flicker rate flickering, putting us in a hypnosis stance. They choose the flicker rate on purpose because they could choose any flicker rate, but the flicker rate that they choose puts you in a deep hypnotic state, which makes you suggestible for programming. Mind control turned into behavioral mind control after the Pavlov dog experiments. So all the social media apps and the phones that we use, there's even programs coming out on neural governance, how it is mind controlling us, and there's people protesting it. Very smart people, not like myself, but like professors and doctors and stuff. Hacking our behavior via these apps, this is why they have gambling experts create these social media apps that we all use today. Over a third of the population is on these social media apps. So most of the world is using these and is in danger of having their thoughts taken over. But we're going to look into how these lights can control us, and maybe they already are. The movie A Clockwork Orange exposed the MK Ultra mind control techniques and had a famous quote, a bit of the old Ultra. But this movie showed how MK Ultra could use strobe lighting effects to put people under mind control. The visible spectrum of light goes from the lowest hertz of red to the highest hertz of violet. Cops have red and blue lights because the red you could see during the day and the blue you could see better at night, proving that the blue is more powerful. Like I said, Blu-ray disc, Bluetooth, and then the upcoming alien invasion, the fake alien invasion under Project Blue Beam, which will use laser lights to show holographic images of aliens. Now scientists can make holographic images able to be touched. There has been scientific experiments where scientists can control algae via lights by placing a virus into the algae, which created new proteins so they could control the host via LED lights. Light-sensitive microbes communicate the same as neurons. Using lights allows the organism to be manipulated in actions and emotions. This could switch brain cells on and off. This is an experiment that has been proven to work. It's the first time anyone had managed to control brain cells with lights. The Smithsonian Magazine says telepathic communication with lights implanting thoughts into people's minds is within reach, and this has been successfully done decades ago on mice. Using lights to control the brain is called optogenetics. Triggering or implanting memories via light. Scientists can activate or shut down neural pathways, altering behavior. This is mind control via lights. Optogenetic stimulation can activate fear memories. A specific memory is encoded by neurons which can be manipulated, stimulating them with light to control them by implanting memories. Just like the neuralizer we saw in the movie Men in Black. Men in Black had that little flash of light on the neuralizer and then they gave you a false memory. Well, these movies being rolled out in the 90s, that is what's happening today. This has been done with mice. They have implanted false memories into mice brain. Pokemon sent 700 kids into the hospital and they were all having seizures because of this hypnosis flickering of light. The Weeknd had a music video which was banned from movie theaters because of the strobe lights. Wireless optical electrodes can deliver light to neurons in human brain, enabling us to erase memories, just like the film Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Companies have created devices that allow you to control lights with your thoughts, where you can turn a light on and off by thinking about it. Tiny injectable LEDs manipulate the brain with light. It's a tool to manipulate the brain in living tissue. This is all real scientific research that I'm telling you about right now. Not only can they plant memories and thoughts into people's brains through these light bulbs, but also they can control nanoparticles throughout the body with the light. New method to control nanoparticles with lights and magnets. Light particles that can be manipulated with magnet tracking the position of the nanoparticles in a body or a cell. Light control of silver nanoparticles. Metal nanoparticles have interaction with light, which can control the heart of a human. So the question I ask, is this happening right now?
The reason that all your computer screens are blue lit, the reason none of them are red lit, the reason none of them pay attention to circadian biology is because that original technology was developed in a government program that Bobby Kennedy knows about and I happen to know about because I went to medical school at LSU. For those of you who've never heard about Operation Paperclip, you think it's all conspiracy theory. So at Tulane Neurology and Tulane Neurosurgery in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, the CIA started a program there where they would do all these crazy things to monkeys. And the CIA wanted to see how they could control things utilizing different things like drugs and things like that. Where the neurosurgeons got involved, which is my clade, we would drill the tops of the heads off, put wires into the thalamus, put electricity in there, and kind of see what kind of behavioral changes we could have. One of the guys that was in that program was a guy named Professor Delgado. He got the idea to take it in a bigger animal. When he saw that we could control the behavior with the wired device, he said, what if we do it wirelessly? So he checked it in monkeys and checked it in bulls, and it turned out you can do it wirelessly with RFID chips and semiconductors. And the CIA took it to the next level. They said, well, since this is electromagnetic radiation, and they begin on wirelessly, what if we did it through light through screens? And it turns out you can. And that's the reason why all your computer screens have the frequencies they have. So why is this all important?
We're about to go live. We're about to go live right here in downtown Miami on NPC land. Nobody minds the blue lights. They have no idea that this light started after 2020, no nothing. Look at it. Reporting right here, right now. Rico, downtown Miami. Look at it. Nothing suspicious at all. EMF up the yin yang at 11. It's about 60 times. Safety.
Luciferase because it has bioluminescent qualities, which means it can produce a light or it has a light source. And all of this would be under your skin and you cannot see it. Now, the luciferase is an idea because they want to make sure that you're vaccinated. They don't trust medical records. They don't trust you saying that you got vaccinated. They want to make sure, and they want to make sure it was successful, a successful transfection, a successful gene modification. So when you get the luciferase enzyme, if you have an iPhone or a special app on the iPhone, you can scan over that area and it will give a digital code, a digital imprint, a digital pattern, something that will identify that you were vaccinated. It holds your vaccination record. It also gives you an ID, a number, a barcode, a branding, whatever you want to call it, a tattoo. It's all the same thing.
What I could come up with is this. I decided that releasing fireflies would be my contribution to the environment here this year.
Using compounds that create the glow of a firefly's belly, researchers were able to image cells deep in the brain of this marmoset for over a year. Bioluminescence of fireflies comes from a chemical reaction in their lower abdomens. It's all based on an enzyme and a compound, coming together with a little oxygen and ATP. As the reaction goes forward, light is emitted. Now researchers have engineered a modified luciferase-luciferin pair that glows up to 1,400 times brighter. These improvements allow the detection of cells in living animals much deeper inside the animal and with more precision, the equivalent of detecting a single firefly in a space the size of a high school gym. They were also able to monitor the activity of specific neurons in mice in reaction to novel environments.
Family Guy talking about the purple street lights.
So UV radiation can effectively control a cave's harmful microorganisms while being less toxic to cave dwellers such as birds and reptiles. Thank you.
Wow, very impressive, Patty. I learned a lot.
Now, y'all call us spiritual people conspiracy theorists. We don't know what we talking about. But okay. Okay. So all the lights are just turning purple, right? Y'all need to research this, man. I've done my research on it so far. I'm still digging on it, but look. That's a normal street light. Those right there, all down the street, and this is I'm in downtown or South Miami. I'm telling y'all, they're replacing these ones with these ones. Y'all need to research it, man. The information is already out there why they're doing this, but they're calling it, oh, it's just because they're bad bulbs. No, because this is happening all across the United States of America. I'm telling y'all need to get ready. Y'all need to do y'all research. Knowledge is power. This is spiritual warfare, man.
Here on my right is what a normal light should look like, right? That's the kind of lighting. But across Phoenix, we are seeing this instead, more purple lights showing up. We're told about 1,200 of these lights started popping up a couple of months ago in the city. That's out of about 100,000 total lights in Phoenix.
You may have seen them lately on your evening commute. Street lights across the state that are glowing blue. And the Iowa DOT says it's an issue they are aware of.
That's right, Patrick. When they were first installed over a year ago, they were a normal white color. Now, as you can see here behind me, they've changed to a purple-blue color.
The lights really are different colors. Some white, some a purple, even blue hue. 16 months ago, they gave off the normal white light, but within a year, their true colors started shining through.
Purple street lights that are still illuminating some roads right here in the Triad.
These purple street lamps have seen the light of day or night on many roads in the Carolinas, from Kernersville to Greensboro, Burlington, and beyond.
If I told you that streetlights aren't just lighting up the roads, they're secretly tracking everything you do outside. Sounds far-fetched, right? But think about it. Modern streetlights are no longer just simple bulbs. They're equipped with all kinds of technology. Many of them have sensors, cameras, and even Wi-Fi capabilities. And here's where the conspiracy comes in. What if streetlights are being used to monitor us without anyone realizing? Some believe that these smart streetlights are collecting data on people's movements, tracking where you walk, what time you're out, and even who you're with. The idea is that While they're marketed as improving public safety, they're really a part of a mass surveillance network. With cameras hidden inside, they could be recording your face, reading license plates, or even eavesdropping on conversations in public spaces. But it doesn't stop there. These streetlights are connected to citywide networks, which means they could be feeding all this data into a centralized system, creating a detailed map of where you go and what you do. And what's worse, many people have no idea this is even happening. So next time you're walking down a well-lit street at night, ask yourself, are those streetlights just keeping you safe, or are they watching your every move?
What if I told you these cold white LED streetlights aren't just everywhere to save energy? No, they have a greater impact than that. Remember those old school incandescent bulbs? They weren't just about the warm, comforting glow. No, they were giving off near infrared light, something these LEDs completely lack. And here's where it gets crazy. Near infrared light is actually proven to help with cellular regeneration. Yeah, you heard me. It goes deep down to the tissue level. Scientists have even found that it can reverse disease in tissues like the retina. So every time you walked under those warm streetlights, your body might have been getting a little cellular boost. That's why it felt so good. LEDs, on the other hand, they cut out that near infrared spectrum. It's like they're giving us the bare minimum, just visible light and a lot of blue light, which actually takes a toll on our bodies over time. Blue light messes with our sleep, throws off our circadian rhythms, affects our mood, and long-term exposure might even impact our mental health. And yet, we're surrounded by it all the time. But here's what I really want to know. Who decided we'd give up warm, soothing lights for these cold, harsh LEDs? Conveniently, LED prices hit rock bottom, incandescent prices went up, and then they were removed from the shelves completely. We all just accepted the switch without really thinking about what we might be losing. They made this switch and most of us just shrugged it off. But don't even get me started on the 5.5G AI-controlled street lamps they've got planned for us.